Yeah, we are on recording. So we'll go back. I'll share my screen again. So I have started with a proof by contradiction. So I have assumed that DE is not parallel to BC. That means there should be another line which is parallel to BC. So that is my construction now. So I am going to draw another line, assuming that it is going to be parallel to BC. So do that as the construction. Draw that. I'll just get back. I'm stopping screen share because somebody is still getting added. Okay, write this down. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I have done a construction of a line which is parallel to BC. That line is called BF. So I hope you've done that. See, are you able to see the BF?
No, ma'am.
Can you see the DF there?
Yes, ma'am.
Another line DF is drawn, assuming that that is parallel to BC. DE is not parallel, so I have drawn the second line DF, which is parallel to BC. And now, because I've drawn it, I have some things that problem. Now listen to me carefully. Let DE be not parallel to BC. So DE is not parallel to BC is my assumption. Okay. Then there must be another line BC parallel to BC, which is called DF. So this is the assumption that I'm doing. I'm telling DE is not parallel to BC. Therefore, I assume DF is parallel to BC. Okay. So this assumption that I have done, I'm going to show that it is wrong. So to show that it is wrong, I'm applying the basic proportionality theorem on triangle ABC. So since DF is parallel to BC, who told me DF is parallel to BC?
Assumption.
That is my assumption. Yeah, that is my assumption. So by the basic proportionality theorem that we studied last class, if DF is parallel to BC, though it is not looking parallel, all right? So DF is parallel to BC. That means D and F are the points where AB and AC are getting intersected. So I have two segments, AD and DB. Then I have AF and I have FC. So these ratios will become equal. Please mute your audio.
Ma'am, not audible.
Please mute your audio. Not audible, huh? I'm not audible.
Yes, ma'am. Now.
Audible now?
Ma'am,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
are audible, ma'am. You are audible.
All right. Okay. Huh? Okay. So DF is parallel to BC according to my assumption. So I am applying the basic proportionality theorem. That means my AD by DB becomes equal to AF by FC. That is what I have written. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then the second point, the second equation that I have, what is that? That is AD by DB equals AE by EC. Why is this equal?
Even.
Please mute the audio. I can't hear you people. Somebody is shouting at the background. Please stay in a place where you are disturbed minimum. Please. Because I know parents are at home, so there are some younger brother, sister, whoever is there around, I don't know. But it is creating a lot of background noise. Please. It's a disturbance for all because all of us are logged in, no? So we get that problem. Just give me 1 second. My battery is low. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, the second equation. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The second
Yes, ma'am.
equation is AD by DB equals AE by EC. This is given to me. Can you see in the given I already had this. AD by DB equals AE by EC. Now if this is equation 1 and this is equation 2, look at the left hand sides of both the equations. Are they the same? Okay. So if the left hand sides are equal, then your right hand sides will definitely become equal. Because in two equations, the left hand sides are equal. Therefore, your right hand sides have to become equal. So by equating them, what did I get? AF by FC equals AE by EC.
A by EC.
Yeah. So right till here. Mark this as equation 1, this as equation 2, and this as equation 3. From equations 1 and 2, you will get equation 3. You can write it. Should I wait? Okay, can we proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now look at that last equation that we have got. We have got AF by FC equals AE by EC. Now look at the diagram parallelly. You should be able to see the diagram and understand what is being said. You have AF by FC. AF by FC is equal to AE by EC. So these two ratios are equal means there is something which is not correct. How can AF by FC be equal to AE by EC? This is possible only when this F is coinciding with E. That means this line DF is exactly falling on the line DE itself. That is what it means. See how it is getting explained. So what she's doing next is, because there are two ratios and I'm unable to compare them directly, I'm going to add 1 to both the sides of the equation. Can I do that? Will it change the value of the equation? Did you understand what she's doing? She's adding 1 to both the sides of the equation. Will it change the value of the equation?
No.
No. So see how it is done. Just you also go and add 1 to both sides of the equation. AF by FC plus 1 equals AE by EC plus 1. Now taking the LCM, see what happens. Cross multiply AF plus FC is whole divided by FC equals.
Ma'am,
Why we want to add 1?
1.
We have to add 1 to compare the LHS and the RHS. Here, when the original equation is there, I have AF by FC is equal to AE by EC. All these 4 are 4 different segments, which I can't directly compare and say which is big and which is small. Okay, so to bring some commonality between the numerators or the denominators, I am trying to
Yes,
add
ma'am.
1. Okay, so see
Okay,
what happens.
okay.
After addition of 1, see what happens. Now come to the left hand side. You have AE plus EC on the numerator. So go back to the diagram and see. What is AE plus EC? What is AE plus EC?
AC.
Yes, AC. So in the numerator, you get AC on the right hand side. Similarly, go to the left hand side and see. You have AF plus FC. What is AF plus FC? Look at the diagram.
AC.
AF plus
AC.
FC. Again, you're getting an
AC.
AC. Now you see
AC.
on the LHS and the RHS, both the numerators are the same. Correct? Just
Yes,
complete
ma'am.
that addition. You will understand what I'm saying. AF plus FC equals AC. AC. What is AE plus EC? Again, it is AC.
AC.
Now compare the LHS and the RHS. What are you seeing? The numerators of two fractions are equal and the ratios are already equal. That means what can you tell about the denominators?
They will be also
Not equal.
They will also be equal. The ratios are
Equal.
equal. The ratios are already equal. AC by FC is equal to AC by EC.
EC.
Fractions are equated. Among those
Yes,
two
ma'am.
fractions, already the two fractions have same numerators. So what can you tell
AC,
about the
AC.
denominators? Yes, the denominators
They are
will
also equal.
become
Equal.
So your
Yes,
FC
ma'am.
has become equal to EC.
EC.
Now go to the diagram and see where is this FC and where is this EC. Now if my statement tells me that FC is equal to EC, what does that mean? Look at the diagram and answer my question. It's a very, very important understanding that you should have. Now, because of my proof, I am finally coming to a place where FC has become equal to EC. Now, if FC is equal to EC, what do you understand from the diagram?
DF exactly like
Ma'am, then FC is equal to.
Ma'am,
One at a
exactly
time.
AB
Wait
is
for,
equal
wait for
to
somebody to
AC.
complete.
Ma'am,
FC is
F will
equal to EC.
coincide.
Yes. Go ahead.
F will coincide with the DC. With yeah.
F
DE.
will coincide with E.
With
That
the
means,
DE.
not DE. F is a point. So when you say
Yes,
F is
ma'am.
coinciding, you must give another point where it is coinciding.
DF. DF.
Not DF, only one point. F coincides
F
with
will
E.
coincide with E.
That means what? F is falling exactly on E. That's what you mean by F coincides with E. So if F
Yes,
is going
ma'am.
to fall on E, then what can you say about DF and DE? If F is going
Mama,
to go and
same.
fall on, they are one and the
Same.
same. There cannot be a line DF other than DE, which is parallel to DC. Somebody's audio is on and it is creating so much of
Ma'am.
disturbance. Please keep
Ma'am.
the audio muted. Just 1 minute.
Ma'am.
Till I complete, keep your audio muted, please.
Ma'am.
Okay, the ma'am I can
Hello?
hear. Please wait. Let me complete. I have to say something. Till then, keep your audio muted, please.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the FC coincides with EC means this F is going to fall on E. If F is going to come and sit over E, what can you tell about the line DF? The DF is also going to sit on DE. So what does it say? Your DF is not a different line. The DF is actually DE only. Or in other words, DF cannot be another line which is parallel to BC. So my assumption that DF is parallel to BC is wrong. Because I'm getting FC is equal to EC, which means F coincides with E, which again means DF is exactly falling on DE, then it is telling me that there cannot be another line DF which is parallel to BC. So I started with the assumption that DF is parallel to BC. But now I'm getting the answer that DF is not at all another line which can be parallel to BC. So I am getting a wrong result stating that DF is not parallel to BC. So why am I getting this wrong result? Because I started with a wrong assumption. I started with a wrong assumption that DF is parallel to BC. So because I'm getting a wrong result, now I will go back to what I have assumed and tell DF is not parallel to BC. Therefore, only DE can be parallel to BC and hence the proof. Now, if somebody wants to ask something, you can go ahead.
Ma'am, should we change the assumption in the beginning also?
No, don't change anything. We will write something here. We will write as notes. I'm just telling you going back means just look at your assumption. I'm asking you to see. That's all. We are not going back anywhere physically. I'm just asking you to go back and look at your assumption in what you have written in the notebook. Now we will write a set of sentences, a few sentences to tell why our assumption was wrong. Okay? Any other
Okay, ma'am.
doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll play the video. We'll see how the assumptions are getting written. This statement you can write. This is possible only when F and E coincide. That is, DF is a line L itself. That means there cannot be another line DF which is parallel to BC. That means the line is going to be L only. It is not another line DF. But we already know that DF is parallel to BC. Why? Who told us DF is parallel to BC? It was my assumption. So my assumption is wrong. That is why I'm telling. But DF is parallel to BC and hence I will move forward to argue. Have you written this down?
Ma'am.
Okay, I'm moving.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, some are not able to get into the group or get into the class,
still
ma'am. They are
somebody is
asking me,
waiting?
ma'am.
Still somebody
Yes,
is
ma'am.
waiting
In the
there?
group, they are in the group and they are messaging me, ma'am.
Okay. I'll just see. I think they
Yes,
came
ma'am.
very late. Okay, you keep writing this.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
stopping the screen share. I have to go and include them. Every time I have to
Okay,
stop
ma'am.
the screen share and go.
Thank you.
Okay, I think all are done. Okay. So write this down. Those who have reached late now, those who were waiting in that room and not getting in, that's why I told you just get in quickly. Because if I have to do the screen share, I cannot be admitting you. All right. So you have missed nothing. All this is there in the page now. Anyway, the video is going to be shared with you. You can go through the video leisurely. This recording, which I have explained also, is going to be with you. So nothing to worry. Don't become very anxious. Just write this down fast.
Finish, ma'am.
Yeah, some reach late, no, so I'm waiting for them.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, those who have reached late, have you finished writing it down? Don't worry about what you have lost. This entire thing which is getting recorded will be shared with you. Now, so because DF is orally parallel to BC, we have assumed. And now because DF is going to fall on DE, we can simply tell that DE only is parallel to BC because there is no other line which is existing called DF which is parallel to BC. This is all you have to write. But the explanation I think I have given 2-3 times again and again. It is a proof by contradiction. All right.
Yes,
Those who
ma'am.
have missed
Yes, ma'am.
something because you have reached late, don't worry. I am recording the entire class. This will be shared with you again. All right. Don't become very anxious.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Can I stop the screen share? Have you written it down?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So we will go back. Somebody is still waiting. Okay. There's nobody waiting. Even then the number has come down. I don't know why. Okay. Whatever it is. Maybe somebody could not join or what happened. Some chat is also there. Okay, somebody has asked, what should I write in the construction? Did you write the construction part? Is there anyone having a doubt on what to write in construction? Construction is draw DF parallel to BC. Because we had DE parallel to BC already. Now we had drawn the new line DF, which is parallel to BC. That is your construction. I think Ritusha was asking this to me. Did you get it, Ritusha?
Yes, ma'am, I got it.
Okay, good, good. So, okay. So that proof of the converse of the BPT is there with you now. So you have two theorems that we are through now. So you should be in a position to recall the statement and write the proof. One among this is definitely coming in the board exam. So make it a habit again and again. I'm telling you, make it a habit to rewrite the proofs and the theorem so that within a span of 1 month, you will totally have it in your head. I don't have to make any extra effort there. All right. Now we will go back to our textbook because I had given you a few things to be viewed in the video yesterday. And we need to discuss on that now. So I'm going back to the textbook. If you have your textbooks, you can have it with you. Now I'm going back to the screen share because I have got my textbook here. Okay, sorry. Just give me 1 minute. There is some problem in the. Okay, so I'm coming back to the textbook. Okay, so I have the textbook. Are you seeing the textbook? Those who don't have the textbook, that's why I thought, okay, I will project it in my screen only. Those who don't have the textbook, this is exactly the pages of your textbooks in your chapter on triangles. So I am slowly coming to exercise 6.1. Either you look at your textbook or look at the screen, whichever is convenient for you. Now, yesterday I had shared some videos with you on what is the difference between congruent figures and similar figures. Yeah, if anyone can clearly and quickly tell me if you could understand the difference between congruence and similarity. You can switch on your audio and speak. One, anyone.
Ma'am, in congruent figures, both the size and the shape are equal, but in
Yeah.
similar figures, the shape are same, not necessarily the size.
Good. So that is the basic understanding that you have between congruence and similar figures. Similar figures will have the same shape, but necessarily not the same size. But if you talk about congruent figures, both the shape and the size should be the same. Only then it is congruent. So based on that understanding, we have a few questions to answer. Now, before we go into exercise 6.1, I have one common question, always my question. There are two statements that I'm going to make. You're going to listen to me and react. Maybe one at a time. Don't be in a hurry. Even if you don't get a chance, don't be so anxious about it again. My first statement. All congruent figures are similar. Wait, hold on. The second statement. All similar figures are congruent. I shall repeat. My first statement is all congruent figures are similar. Second statement, all similar figures are congruent. Did you get both the statements? Now, out of these two statements, which is true and which is false?
Ma'am, first statement is true, second false.
Okay, when
First segment
okay,
statement
good.
is true, ma'am. Second is not.
Okay. Why is the
Second
first
is false.
statement true? Why is the first statement true?
Ma'am, in congruent figures, obviously the shape will be the same.
So the condition necessary for similar figures is already satisfied by the congruent figures. This is why we say all congruent figures are similar, but all similar figures cannot become congruent because there the size is not maintained the same. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Somewhere the dog is barking so hard. This will be recorded in our video. I don't know whose dog is barking. Please keep your audio on mute. Because it's so embarrassing when we see the recording, we only hear that. Okay. Okay. Now going into exercise 6.1. The first question. All circles are dash, congruent or similar?
Similar.
Why not
Similar.
congruent? Why not congruent?
The radii may differ.
Because the radius is not specified. They have told only circles. Circles of different sizes. Circles of different sizes can only be similar. They cannot be congruent because their sizes may be different. They are all circles, but they are not having the same size. So they are only similar figures. Second one. All squares are similar or congruent?
Similar.
Again similar
Similar.
because the side of the square is not mentioned. Next, all dashed triangles are similar. Is it the isosceles or the equilateral?
Equilateral.
Why
Equilateral.
are you choosing the equilateral?
Equilateral.
Why not isosceles triangles?
Ma'am, because in equilateral triangle,
Size will be
At a time.
same.
Yeah, we want similar only, no? We want only
No,
similar
only
figures. What is the second
Ma'am,
condition
the-
for similar figures? What is the second condition for similar figures? It was there in the video. I don't know if you have not
ma'am, it
concentrated
must
there.
be equiangular.
Not necessarily, no. I am only talking
Ma'am,
about
in the
Some correct size.
Ma'am, corresponding ratios should be equal.
good. See, somebody is coming back to that second point. Two figures will be similar if they are of the same shape. Second, they should be of the same size if they are congruent, not necessarily if it is the same size when it is similar. So if it is not the same size, but still it has to remain of the same shape, that means what? The sides of those figures should be proportional. Only when the sides are proportional, you will be getting the same shape. See, this is discussed in your textbook itself. I think it's in this page. Yeah, it'll be here only. Before the, yeah. We are specifically looking at two triangles when they become similar. The condition is very clearly specified. Their corresponding angles are equal. Why the corresponding angles have to be equal? Because the shape has to be maintained the same. If the angles are not equal in one triangle, one angle is obtuse, and whereas in the other triangle, all the angles are acute, then they will not have the same shape. The second condition is, even after having their corresponding angles equal, if their corresponding sides are not in the same ratio, that means they'll be proportional. In the first case, if your triangle is having an edge of 2 centimeters, then in the second one, all the sides should be proportional to it. So if the first triangle is 2, 2 and 2, the second triangle should be 4, 4 and 4, or maybe 6, 6 and 6. So everywhere they are proportional, that is 2 by 4. On each side is equal to, again, 2 by 4 is equal to 2 by 4. That is half. Similarly, 2 by 6, 2 by 6 and 2 by 6. All the three ratios are the same. That is what we call as proportionality. So again, going back, that is why we are not able to say that isosceles triangles are similar, because the first condition itself, only two angles are equal. The third angle can be anything. So they will not give you the same shape. Also, the second condition also fails because the sides are not going to be proportional. Clear? Okay, then moving on to the fourth one. Two polygons of same number of sides are similar if their corresponding angles are dash and their corresponding sides are dash. Just now I just read that. The angles should be equal, whereas the sides should be proportional. Sides need not be equal. Sides become equal means they become congruent figures. We need proportional means they can be of different size, but they should be proportional. Onde riti grow agbe. If the first triangle is half of the second triangle, or the second triangle is 2 times the first triangle, then it is okay. The shape will not alter, only the size will alter. That is why the proportionality is very important in similar figures. So there are 2, 3 more questions here in 6.1 which you should be able to complete on your own. So we are through the first 2 theorems. That is theorem 6.1, which we have taken as the BPT, and we are also through the second one, which is the converse of the PPT. This is exactly what we have done today. I think I have the last 8 or 7 minutes more. So we will close down here maybe. Or if you have any questions, you can ask. I thought I can take up 1 or 2 problems. Let me see if I am able to take them up. I don't know how much time we will get. If I stop my screen share only, I can find out how much more time I will get. So in 6.2, we had done the first problem yesterday. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that is done.
Yes, ma'am.
And today we have discussed the 6.1, the first 2-3 questions, and I am leaving the last 2 questions to you because they are descriptive ones where you need
Yes,
to
ma'am.
think and use your knowledge of similarity and congruence and finish it. Now, this similarity of triangles is another concept that you have to write as a side heading and write these 2 conditions and tell 2 triangles are similar if and only if their corresponding angles are equal and their corresponding sides are in the same ratio. So this is one more thing that you have to write. Please write it down fast. If you have your textbook, you can copy from there. Those who don't have the textbook, that's why I've projected this here. Please write it down fast. Similarity of triangles.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead.
Ma'am, exercise 6.1, the fill up the blanks, the fourth
No,
one
you
I
don't have to
didn't
write. You don't have to write. No
understand.
need. No need. It is written in the textbook. It is fine. Now you just write similarity of triangles. How many of you still don't have the textbooks with you? Is there anybody who is not having the textbook with you? Shashi has raised his hand. Yes. Only one person doesn't have the textbook. All others are having textbook. Huh? Shashidhar, you don't have a textbook still? Mithun also is not having. Oh my God. Who else is not having? They are all raising their hand and telling me that they are not having. You have an option to raise the hand. 2 participants are raising, but their names are not there. Okay, so I think I'm doing a good job by putting the textbook also here. Okay, enough. I'm seeing 5, 6, 7, 8 hands up. Oh my God. Okay, have you written down fast?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me stop the screen share and see how much more time we are getting. Okay, I just have 3 minutes more to go. So we'll stop here. So today our takeaway and take home will be that you have to completely go through the proof of both BPT and its converse and should be able to write it by evening on your own and put it in your folder in the portfolio. This is something that I have given to you. And then today I'll be sharing some videos on criteria for similarity because we'll be starting with the criteria for similarity tomorrow. Before we start with criteria of similarity tomorrow, I will take up a few more questions in the exercise and try to do it. All right. So be ready for being able to apply your BPT and the converse in those problems. Okay. So tomorrow we will start with the exercise 6.2, maybe 3 problems I should be able to do, and then go on with the criteria of similarity. So today I'll be sharing maybe 1 or 2 videos which will be talking about criteria of similarity. Please go through them leisurely and try to see that you are able to understand. We will have more discussions on criteria of similarity when we meet tomorrow. I have 2 minutes more. If anyone wants to speak or clarify anything, quickly do so.
Every day we'll be having maths class.
Yes, I am.
At 11:30.
Yes, I am thinking like that. Provided everything goes on well, because we are literally inching with our syllabus. If we are in a real classroom, we may be a little more faster. So here that is not happening. Unless I am occupied with some other job, I will continue the same way. I will inform you in case I'm not having a class. Not having a class is almost impossible. Only the time may change. Having the class is fixed. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, is it clashing with any of your other timings? Not yet,
No,
no?
ma'am. No, ma'am.
Not yet.
Good. then that is perfectly all right. Should not be a problem. Anything
Ma'am,
else?
papers
Any other
corrected.
concern? Please share. Yes. Nothing? I think Kushi has raised your hand. No? No. No?
Ma'am, are our papers corrected?
What paper? Oh, I forgot about that. That is done long ago. That's done long ago. All your results are ready. You should really thank the COVID-19 for letting you getting promoted to class 10. I had some 12 failures in both the classes together. And still, because COVID-19 came to your rescue, you are all sitting in class 10. Okay. This is a blessing in disguise for you. Yeah. I am having a mixed reaction on your performance. There are some very good ones. There are some people who are lagging. Okay. Let us forget about that now and see how we can do best. I think we are closing down the last 20 seconds. Okay. If there's anything, quickly speak. Otherwise, it's a bye from here.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Okay, it's a bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Be
Thank
in
you,
time
ma'am.
tomorrow. Please don't delay. Be in time.
Yes,
And tomorrow
Because if
time.
we are, yeah, same. There's no change. If there is a change, it will be told you. Okay.
okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
ma'am.
Bye. 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 Thank
Bye,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.